Good morning, everybody. I'm glad that you're able to join me this morning. We're going to be doing 3 projects. We're going to be doing 2 cards, and then in case you don't have any gift cards ready for Christmas Day, I've got one that we're going to be doing today. So let me introduce myself if you're new here. My name is Debbie Foster, and I'm located in Bismarck, Arkansas. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. And if you're on YouTube, please click the button to subscribe so you'll get notifications when I go live. And also like and share the video on Facebook. So that just gives me more viewers, which I'd appreciate. Let me go ahead and turn the camera down here and we'll get started. Excuse my messy desk. Alright, let me get this angled right. I don't think I want to zoom anymore. Let me bring you up on my iPad here so I can check to see how that looks. I don't think I want to zoom anymore. Let me bring you up on my iPad. And I need to mute that. I don't want to hear myself. Hi, Jackie. Glad you could come on. I'm just getting everything situated here. Maybe I could zoom that just a tiny bit. Alright, I'm going to move it over just a tiny bit. Hope everybody's having a good day. We've got beautiful sunshine out there this morning. So I think I'll go with that. That looks pretty good. As I said, my name is Debbie Foster, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. And you're watching me on Creating with Debbie. And you can shop with me at www.debbiefoster.stampinup.net. And the host code for December is JRPESC2V. And you use that code if your order is under $150. And if it's over $150, don't use that code because I want you to get your rewards. So let me go into the news part of our section here today. Okay. We're coming up on January, so this is the new paper pumpkin for January. Let me get my lighting in here a little bit better. I had to move things around here a little bit. And I had to close my shade because the sun was glaring on the table, so I didn't want you to get the glare. So let's go with this. Okay, so the January paper pumpkin is called Sending Hearts. And it says Paper Pumpkin Kit and Little Love Boxes add-on. You can add that on too besides your paper pumpkin. So the paper pumpkin itself is the whole kit, which includes enough supplies to create 8 cards and 8 coordinating envelopes. So that is, in the United States, it's $22. And if you want to add on the add-on, which is Little Love Boxes, and those include 20 printed mini boxes and 24 decorative die cuts and labels. And this coordinates with the original paper pumpkin, the Sending Hearts paper pumpkin kit. And the add-on kit is $8, and that's in the United States. Okay, let's going to be really cute. They're not showing us a stamp set, but I've seen a sneak peek, and I think it was a bear and something else, so it's going to be really cute. I haven't received mine yet. Okay, and we're still doing the Curvy celebrations, and you can get the bundle, the Quite Curvy bundle, and that's $41.25 for the two. But you can also, until January 4th, I believe it is, you can get the Curvy Christmas stamp set, and that is $21. And then they also have the Classic Christmas 6x6 Designer Series paper, and that's $11.50. So if you have any questions, be sure to contact me and I'll help you with any questions that you might have. So I think that's about all the news that we've got going on. Okay, I see everybody's coming on this morning. Hi everyone. Glad you could all join me. Okay, so January, I think it's the 5th. Yeah, January 5th, our new mini catalog for January through June 2021 comes out. I can't open the page and show you, but I can show you the cover. And with that, it also includes the celebration brochure where you can earn free merchandise, free stamp sets and such. And that also starts January 5th, but that only runs through the 28th of February. It used to be that we had celebration lasted 3 months, but Stampin' Up has changed it up where we're going to have 2 celebrations a year. So we're going to have this one, and then I think it's in June and July is the next one where you're able to do the celebration also. So but I look really forward to that. There's really a lot of cute stuff in there. I think I'm going to start showcasing some of it here probably within the next week or so. So, with further ado, let's go ahead and get started here. Okay, so I'm not doing any Christmas cards today because we should have already had them done. Well, maybe. I've still got some I got to send out. I'm a little slow. I've had some medical issues going on this past week, so... Okay, here's the card. Wishing you the happiest of birthdays. And the inside. So let's go ahead and get started with that. We're going to be using... the stamp set is the happiest of birthdays. And I like these because they have really large sentiments that you can use on the front of your card or even on the inside. Because I use this one on the inside. It's your day. Enjoy it. And it also has a happy birthday. And then it has a happy little bit late birthday, which sometimes happens. And then the wishing you the happiest of birthdays is the bigger stamp. So we're going to go ahead and start with that. Move my light here. Let me get my instructions out here. And our bits and pieces. Hope you're all having a good day. It's kind of gloomy week last week, but we finally got sunshine. And it kind of peaked out yesterday a little bit. And it's full sunshine today. I'm loving it. With the dreary days, you just don't feel like doing anything, so... Okay, so we're going to start out with our card base. I'm using the Misty Moonlight, which is one of our new in colors. And that measures 11 inches by 4 1/4 inches, and then it's scored at 5 1/2 inches. So we're going to take that and we're going to burnish that. Get us a good edge on there. And I'm going to start with the inside. I'm using the Whisper White cardstock, and Stampin' Up is going to be changing our Whisper White cardstock and envelopes and everything. The manufacturer that we had has gone out of business due to the COVID, so we're switching to a new product, which is going to be called Whisper White. I'm not sure exactly what it's going to look like, but hopefully it's similar or brighter or something, so there's not a whole lot of difference. So we should be hearing about that within the next couple of weeks or so, I think. So anyway, the Whisper White cardstock, it measures 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. And then I've got a leftover strip from our designer series paper, which, let me show which one we're using. I've got the right one. Yeah, it's going to be this one, and that comes out of our Flowers for Every Season, our 6x6 pack. So it's got a lot of cheerful colors, and this one could be used for Christmas because it kind of looks like a poinsettia, but maybe it isn't. I'm not sure what it is. Maybe somebody knows. Okay, and there's some more there. There's a lot of designs in that pack. I think it's 48 sheets, and it's got 4 each of 12 double-sided designs. So we're using this design. So I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to glue it to the bottom of our inside panel. Right. And I'm going to leave just a little border at the bottom. Just like so. So we're going to glue that into the inside of our card. And I should have stamped it first in case I do any boo-boos. That's the one thing you ought to do. You ought to stamp first before you glue down, in case you need to fix it or turn it over. Thank goodness there's 2 sides to every paper, because that does happen to me occasionally. Alright, so, oops, I got sticky there. So here we have that. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stamp our sentiment on the inside. And I've already got these mounted, and we're going to be using the Misty Moonlight ink. And make sure I've got a good coverage here. Okay, I like that. That looks good. So we're going to set that aside, and we're going to work on the front of our card. There we go. Okay, so I've got a piece of white cardstock, and this measures, this is the Whisper White, measures 4 3/8 inches by 5 5/8 inches. And then I've got the designer series paper, which measures 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. And then I've got another piece, which is the opposite of that one, it's little polka dots. And that measures 1 3/4 inches by 4 inches. And we'll get to that in a moment. I'll go ahead and put these together. I was just making sure that was fitting and that I cut it right. So is everyone ready for Christmas? I did all of my shopping online, so I think I've still got a couple that are out yet that I hadn't received yet, so I hope they get here before Christmas. I guess the mail has really been slow. I have some sticky on my paper. Let me use my glue eraser and get that off. I guess I kind of got it all over the place here. There we go. Alright, so here we have this glued to our white cardstock. And then I'm going to go ahead and glue this piece down on top, and I'm going to put that towards the bottom. I'll glue it down here, then I'll let you see what I'm talking about. And center that, make sure it's straight. Maybe not. That's where I'm challenged at. I guess that's my trademark. Hi Sharon. Glad you could come on. Then I've got a piece of ribbon, which is the Misty Moonlight, and it's the 2020 ribbon. And that measures about 6 3/4 inch. And we're just going to tape that on the back side. Center it here. And I just use regular Scotch tape. I hope I don't bump the camera here. It's kind of dangerously positioned here. Let me get my tape over here. There we go. Has anyone done any Christmas baking? I haven't. Hate to say, but I hadn't. Okay, so next we're going to bring in our Stampin' and Emboss machine, and we're going to die cut. This is using the Stitch So Sweetly dies. And we're going to die cut that out. Let me get my roller over here. I just love my new machine. It rolls so smoothly and it cuts so well. I can't say enough good things about it. And our mini one is coming out in January, well, starting January 5th. And I also have that, so when I get done here, I'll show you that one. I call that this is the Big Boss. And then the little one I'm calling Baby Boss. So oh, Jackie, you could if you wanted to. It's not really difficult. In fact, sometimes it's easier than regular cooking meals, I think. Okay, let me put this aside. And let me show you the Baby Boss. This is our new Baby Boss. Isn't she cute? I'm waiting for my iPad to catch up to me. You're not getting a good view of that. I'm not sure. Gotta go this way. And I'm on a delay, so I'm waiting a second here. Okay. But that opens the same way. It opens here, and then you've got all your plates that you put in it. And I haven't even opened mine yet. And it just closes up for storage, so. And it's really light. I'm not sure what it weighs, but it's really light. Guess I should have weighed it. But even our bigger machine, the Big Boss, isn't real heavy. I think it's lighter than my previous die cutting machine. Okay, that's enough chatter, so let's go back to our stamping. And we're going to stamp our sentiment on the front. And this is our piece that we just die cut out using the Stitch So Sweetly dies. And all the products I'm using today you can find on my store. So you just click on that and go shop with me. So we're going to put this right in the center. Well, center top, kind of. We want to leave a little space at the bottom for our ribbon. And I'm just going to make sure I get a good impression on there. I'm going to hold it down for a moment. Okay, that looks pretty good. Okay, you want to make sure my ink is dry. We're going to put that on dimensionals. I'm going to use about 5. I'm going to put one in each corner and then another one in the middle so it doesn't sag on me. Okay. And then I'm going to take my take your pick tool and I'm going to pop those dimensionals off. Being I don't have very good fingernails, this is the best choice to get them off. Okay, I'm going to put those in the trash. Alright, so let's bring our card back. And we're going to attach all this. Let's go ahead and glue this down to our card base. Make sure I've got it right. Okay, there we go. Okay, we're going to center that on the front of the card. And I need to push that up a little bit. With the liquid glue, you've got time to wiggle it around if you need to. Slide it up and down to reposition. So that's good. And then we're going to take our sentiment and we're going to glue that in the center of our card. And that looks straight, I think. All right. And then I've taken another piece of ribbon and I've made a bow. I did that ahead of time. I used my bow jig. And we're going to take a glue dot and we're going to glue that to the front of our sentiment. And I kind of like to fold it over a little bit so it's not sticking out of the ribbon. I'm talking about the glue dot. And this little tail doesn't want to stay down. So if that happens, you can take another glue dot and stick it down, but maybe it's going to behave finally. Alright, and then I've got, I need to find my rhinestones. Okay, then I use the rhinestone basic jewels. And with your blends, you can color those any color that you want. So I'm going to take my Misty Moonlight Dark, and I'm going to color those so that they'll match my card. So I'm going to do 3. Okay, I got 4 there instead. Oh well, we've got an extra one for later. Okay, and that just takes a second to dry because they are alcohol based, the blends are. And then I've got my Take Your Pick tool with a little putty end. I'm going to go ahead and pick those up. So I'm going to put 2 up in this upper corner, upper left corner. And then I'm going to take another one. I'm going to place it, whoops, get a hold of that one. Let me see, where do I want to put it? Could I use it for an eye? I might use them for my eye on the birthday word. Okay, so here we have our first card. That didn't take long. Wishing you the happiest of birthdays. And there's the inside. So we'll set that aside. Oh no, there goes the telephone. Answer machine will get it. It's probably a scam call. Okay, so our next card is, oops, everything's falling out here. It's going to be a happy anniversary card. So, I didn't stamp anything on the inside, but I think on ours I'm going to put a sentiment on the inside. So, we'll go ahead and get started with that. Get things out of the way here. Dump out all the bits and pieces. Okay, we're going to start out with just a white cardstock, and this measures 11 inches by 4 1/4 inches, and then it's scored at 5 1/2 inches. So we're just going to fold that over and we're going to burnish the edge. And burnish means that you just flatten it down so it's got a real good edge on it, so it'll close real good. I feel some glue right there. I must have gotten it all over the place. Okay. I might want to have my directions here. Okay, we're going to be using the Night of Navy cardstock as our background mat. And that measures 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. And then we've got another white mat that measures 3 3/4 inches by 5 inches. And then we're using the Designer Series paper, which feels like frost. And this was a carryover from last year, but it is going to be retiring here before the next catalog comes out. So if you're wanting any of it, you need to put it on your order real quick. But it's very pretty. One side is they took portraits and then they put it onto paper. But then the other side is the foil, silver foil. So, and you can also use your blends and color these with ink and then wipe them off with a cloth or something. And the background will stay the color of the ink, but the silver parts won't. So it's kind of a cool technique to be able to do. Okay, so we're gonna look at my directions first here. So this is really basic, just putting everything together. So let's just start gluing. I'm going to start gluing down to my Night of Navy. I got a hair there. Looks like a dog hair. Okay. Alright. Oops, that's a little bit too much. Okay, guess that's good. And then the designer series paper measures 3.5 inches by 4 3/4 inches. And we're going to glue that to the front of our card base. That ink came out pretty fast up there. Try not to get my fingers in it. I usually have my fingers full of glue, full of ink. It all comes out in the wash. Oh, that's a little bit crooked. Let me see if I can straighten that. Okay. Then we're going to glue that to the front of our card base. And make sure I got it going the right direction. And just leave a border around each one. Okay, so there's that part. A little bit more glue. These glue erasers are really good. We used to sell them on Stampin' Up, but they discontinued them. But I think you can probably get them in any office supply store. So it works really good to get your glue off spots that you don't want it. All right, so then we have, I'm going to have to bring my big boss up here again because we're going to die cut this out. First off, we're going to stamp it. And I'm just using the sky area of the paper. And I'm going to be using did I not put that on my block? Yes, I did. Okay. Well, so Sentiment is out of the Mini Mates stamp set, and I'm using the Happy Anniversary. And we're going to stamp that using Night of Navy ink. Guess I've already got that out. Let me see in my basket here. There it is. And we're going to stamp that in that sky area of the paper. And it doesn't matter if it's crooked or not because I'm going to be die cutting it out. So let me close that up so I don't get a mess here. So I'm using one of the dies from, this is called Tasteful Labels, and I'm using this one. And you can find that at number 152886. So let's bring in our big boss. And we're going to place this down. And place this center down there. I got ink in my fingernail. I'm going to scooch it up just a tiny bit. And to make sure that my die doesn't move, I'm going to use a little bit of washi tape to hold it down. And I'll run that through. Okay, I had a little bit of a speed bump there. I should have angled it a little bit. Let me put Big Boss away here. I think that's all we need to die cut for now. Okay, so here we have it on that piece of paper, Happy Anniversary. And just a tinge of the sky. I tried with white, just plain white, but it just was too stark, and I got to looking at my paper, and I thought, oh, let me do the Designer Series paper, but just don't have the designs on it, just the sky, and I like that better. And we're going to put this up on dimensionals, and I know it's kind of a small die, but I still am going to use the 4, one in each corner. And take your prick tool and pop those backings off. Got all sorts of noises going on. I've got traffic going by, and then my refrigerator ice maker is dropping ice. I don't know if you can hear that. And we're just going to place that in the center towards the bottom. I want to make sure it's even. There. And then I've taken the ribbon that I'm using is from Flowers for Every Season. And this is a combo pack. It comes with 3 different ribbons in it. And let me get on the end of that one. And this one is a blue with silver intertwined with it. So that's called Flowers for Every Season combo pack, and the number on that is 153620. Or you can find it in our catalog too if you have a catalog. But anyway, I did a double bow with this, which I wrapped it around twice and then tied it. And we're going to place that at the bottom, and we're going to use our glue dots again. And I think I'm going to roll my glue dots so it's not sticking out to make it smaller. And we're going to place that at the bottom of our die cut, our sentiment. And place that down. And I'm going to trim up our tails of our ribbon here. They are hanging down quite a ways. So I'm just going to snip those off. Throw the excess in the trash. So here we have the outside. But we need some sparkle on there, so I'm going to be using the Elegant Faceted Gems. And I'm going to take the more clear ones. I'm going to take a large one and put that up here. And another large one. And maybe right there. And then we're going to take a small one and we're going to place that, I think, right on our die cut. Come on, turn over there. There we go. Okay, so we have the front of our card done. Oh gosh, I got ink all over me. Now let's stamp the inside. I'm going to use the sentiment from that same stamp set that says, "This calls for a huge celebration," and that's this one here. And we're going to stamp that using our Night and Navy again. Looks like I'm kind of out of the camera view. I'm not sure why. I wonder if I moved. Give me a second. I'm going to see if I can rearrange here a little bit. Well, on my phone it looks good, but on my iPad it looks a little off. Maybe that's better. Let me see what that does. Okay, that did move me down a little bit. Maybe that's better. Okay. All right, so we're going to stamp our sentiment on the inside. Okay. And you could put anything on the inside if you wanted to. This is just what I picked. Okay, so here's our outside. And here's our inside. Okay, so we're done with that one. So let's continue on. Clear up my space here a little bit. I'm glad you can't see my desk. It is a mess. So what are y'all drinking this morning? I've just got plain old ice water. I finished my coffee already. I had to wet my whistle a little bit there. Okay, like I said, the next one is going to be a Christmas gift card, but you could change it out and use something that pertains to birthdays. But here it is, and it opens. Just untie the ribbon. And here's the inside of it, and you just slip your card in there. I don't have a card here. Well, let me see if I can find one over here. Well, I don't want to show everyone that. I'm just going to slide it in here so you can't see my numbers. There we go, like this. I don't know if you can see it, being it's a dark card and a dark paper. Yeah, you can see it, okay. Yeah, sweet tea sounds good, Sharon. I need to make me up some again. I hadn't done any for a long time. Okay, and then here's the inside. There's the front flap. And then here's the back side. So let's go ahead and get started with that. We're going to be doing some scoring and die cutting. So I'm going to take my paper trimmer, which has the scoring blade and the cutting blade. And we're going to keep our cutting blade down here so I don't end up chopping off something I don't want to chop off. So let me dig out my directions here. And I'm using the Pretty Peacock cardstock, and that measures 8.5 inches by 5 inches. And we're going to score it at 2.5 inches and 5.5 inches. That's going to be on the long side of the paper. So let's go with the 2.5 inches first, which is right there. I've got some ink pads here I need to move out of my way. I'm about to stick my arm in them. Okay, 2.5 inches. So we're going to score that. And then we're going to score it at 5.5 inches. So we can set that aside. And then we're going to go ahead and fold those on the score lines. And the longer side is going to be the big flap. And that's the one that measures 5.5 inches. And then the skinnier side, the 2.5 inch, is going to be the inside of our card. Let me go ahead and burnish those. This will be our last Christmas project for the year, so I wanted to throw this in case somebody hadn't gotten their gift cards all finished. All right, with this we're going to be using the Kirby Christmas stamp set, which we're going to be using the Merry Christmas stamp for our sentiment. So that's all we'll be using out of that one. And then I'm using the Kirby dies, which you can get in that Quite Curvy bundle. And after January 4th, starting on the 5th, when our new catalog comes out, you can buy them separately. The stamp set and the dies will be separate. So right now you can get them as a bundle price, but that goes away starting with our new catalog in January. So if any questions, just holler at me. Okay, and we're going to be using, the paper is the Brightly Gleaming Specialty paper. And these are the 12 by 12 sheets, and they're double-sided. They've got some foil, and they've got just a plain paper. The foil is on one side, and then the plain paper on the other side. But we're using this paper right here. It's got the foil. And it's kind of using every color there is in here, which is, we've got Mossy Meadow, Midnight. Okay, Mossy Meadow, Night of Navy, Pretty Peacock, Very Vanilla, and then plus the gold. So that's the paper that we're using. So first off, we're going to start out, we've got to die cut some things here. Let me get all our bits and pieces out here so we can know what we're working with. Okay, sorry about the crinkling. All right, we've got our designer series paper. We've got 3 different pieces. This is the top panel. This one measures 5 inches by 2.5 inches. And then we've got the bottom panel, and that one measures 5 inches by 2 inches. And then we've got the back panel, which measures 2 1/4 inches by 5 inches. So we're going to set the back one aside for a moment, and also we'll set the inside one aside, but we're going to work on the front panel first. What I did is I used the die that's got the dots, the curvy dots. That's this one here. One side cuts and the other side doesn't. So let me bring my big gloss over here and do this. Let me see if I got you on camera before I get it all positioned. I'm just waiting for it to catch up with me. Might have to scooch a little bit that way. I've got a delay on my iPad. I'm just waiting for it to catch up, so I make sure that you're in the screenshot here. Okay, so take your front panel, and you want to make sure that your design's going the right direction. So this will close like this. We want it this way. And open this up all the way here. I'm just going to place that on the center. And then making sure that I got my cutting blade going the right direction. And we're going to scooch it up a little bit because this panel is longer than the other one, so I think I want it right there. Let me grab some washi tape. Stick that down so it doesn't move on me. Where did I put my washi tape? There. With your washi tape, you might want to stick it on your shirt to get some of the sticky tackiness off. I do that a couple times, stick it to my shirt and peel it back on. And that makes it so it's not so tacky and it won't rip your paper. So let's go ahead and redo this again. It moved on me. And I'm thinking that's probably where I want it. So we're going to stick that down so it stays in place. Take our top cutting plate. Okay, so let's go ahead and run this through. Okay, we're going through 2 layers of cardstock, so it's a little bit hard to get it through there, especially when you got a bad shoulder like I have. But it's getting better. I'm just trying to get my strength back in it. I'm getting a Christmas delivery. It's FedEx, so you might hear my dog barking. Unless she's sleeping and doesn't hear him, hopefully. Okay, so let's set this aside. Alright, and then we're going to pop out all these little bitty dots using our Take Your Pick tool. And usually you can just run the point of your pokey tool over the top and it'll pop all of those out. You don't have to stand pokey. Uh-oh, I think we're going to hear some barking. I'm sorry, people. Cookie, you need to be a good girl. Okay, he's all gone. Not too bad. Miss Cookie. Had to make herself known here. Okay. I'm just being butterfingers here today. This usually doesn't take this long to pop these out. But I wasn't really paying attention to myself here. Okay. Just a couple here I gotta get. Okay. Got one that's stubborn, that's hanging on to the back side. It's popped out, but it's just hanging on for dear life. There we go. And I have made a mess. Guess I should have held it over my garbage can. And the same with the other piece, which it looks like everything popped out of there, so that was the clean. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and glue that down to our front panel. And we're going to be using our liquid glue. And then I'm centering it on the front of that front panel. And it's the same width as the card is, so just match up the sides. So like this. And this is how it will be. So we're going to put our inside panel there. And to make that easier to grab a card out of there, I'm using a 1-inch circle punch. And I'm just going to make a half a circle and get it centered. And then I'm going to go ahead and glue our panel on that. And make sure I've got my things going the right direction. And center that. And like the other one, it'll match up on each side. And then to get my notch back out of there, I turn it over and I just stamp it back out again. That's easier than trying to punch through 2 layers of paper, because that can be kind of tough. Alright, and then I've taken a ribbon which measures 21 inches, and this is just our Whisper White. It's called Crinkled Seam Binding Ribbon, and it's just white. But to change the color, we just take our blends and we can color it. Just put it on a piece of scratch paper and run your thicker tip over it. Just run across it and just give it a moment to dry. And you've got the colors that you want without having to buy all the different color ribbons. So that's just a little added tip. So I'm going to take that and I'm going to wrap that around. Well, no, we're going to go this way. And I just want to make sure, let me fold this up so I get the ribbon lined up right. And pull your ends so they match up, like so. And then hold it there for a moment. And I kind of put mine off to one side because I wanted the sentiment on the other side. So I'm going to go with the skinny side for the ribbon. This will be the thicker side for the sentiment, and this will be this side for the ribbon. I hope that makes sense. Okay. So we got that there. We're going to come back with our Scotch tape, and we're going to tape that to our back just to hold it in place. And then we're going to come in with our back panel of the Designer Series paper and decide which direction you want it to go. So I want it to be that way. And get my ribbon out of the way. I'll be back again next Monday at the same time. I think 10:30 is a good time for me. I hope it works for everybody else. And I'm going to be showcasing some of our new items in our catalog that's coming out on January 5th. I've got a few things already. I just want to show some of those so I can get y'all interested in the new catalog. Okay, so we've got our inside panel and everything done. So we're going to take some tear and tape and we're going to put on each side of our flap that's got the notch out of it. That'll hold our gift card. And I'm just using the tear and tape. And I'm just going to stick that down. And another one over here. Instead of using a gift card, you could even put money in here if you wanted to. So, whichever works for you. We're going to pop those backings off. Yeah, there we go. And then we're just going to press that down on our card and make sure it seals. And there we've got our little flap just glued down. And so let's go ahead and do the sentiment. Which I didn't die cut out. Which one did I use? Okay. To cut the sentiment out, I used the Stitch Shapes dies. That's number 152323. And I'm using two different ones out of there. The ovals, maybe the smallest and the second smallest, or the medium. And first off, I'm going to stamp on a piece of white cardstock. And I'm going to stamp that using the Pretty Peacock ink. And I thought I had it out, but I didn't. Let me go ahead and grab that. No, I just used the black. Yeah, let's just go ahead and use the black Memento ink. We're going to stamp that in the middle. That scrap paper. Alright. And close up our ink pad so we don't stick our arm or fingers in it. Alright, and we'll die cut that one out using this die. But then I have another piece of the Pretty Peacock. And we're going to cut out this piece using the medium-sized die. But I'm not going to bring my big boss over here. I'm just going to slide over here and cut both of those out at the same time, off camera. Get that centered, get that one centered. Okay, I'll run that through. So there we have it. Here's our sentiment. And the one that will go underneath that. Let me put my dies aside. And we're just going to glue that directly onto that little matte die that we cut out. Just using regular glue, liquid glue, Tombow. Or some people call it our green glue. And we're going to center that onto that. And then I'm going to put that up on dimensionals, which I've misplaced. Oh. Okay. And that, I'm just going to use two, one at each end. Excuse the elbow there. Cutting across the camera with my arm. And clean up my space here a little bit. So make sure we put it right side up. And then we're going to take our sentiment and we're going to put that down on the right side. That was a little bit crooked. Is that straight? I think that's straight. Okay, so there we have it. Merry Christmas. And then our flap to put our gift card in goes right in here. Or you could put money. Or a business card. Or almost anything. So we're going to tie that in a bow. Let me see if I can tie a bow on camera with too much going on with my butterfingers. It's always harder to tie a bow when you're on camera. I don't know why that is. So let's shorten our tails here a little bit. Where's the other end of that? There it is. Okay, I think I'm bow challenged here. But but you get the idea. I didn't put any bling on there because it's got a lot of the gold metallic, so I didn't put any rhinestones or anything on it. And there's the back. So there you have it. That's all my projects I have for today. Let me bring those back out and put them all up here so you can see. Let me make sure my paper's clean. Okay, so here was our first one, the birthday card. I'm just making sure my things are on camera here. And here's the second one. And our third, which is the gift card holder. So I hope you enjoyed the projects today. Okay, I'm going to scooch over a little bit. There we go. I got a black piece of something there. Thank you, Sharon. I'm glad you enjoyed them. I'm looking forward to next Monday because we're going to be showcasing some of the new products that are coming out. And I may do a catalog reveal probably next week. Maybe I can squeeze that in Tuesday, do my Facebook Live on Monday, and then do the catalog review on Tuesday. But I'll let you know definitely on the catalog review which day and time. So, but otherwise, hope you're able to come join me next Monday again at 10:30. Same channel, same time. Deborah says she loves the anniversary card. Yeah, we never make anniversary cards. I don't know why. I just happened to see the sentiment there, and I said, well, why not? And it could also be used for a sympathy card, too, because we need those, too, and never have enough on hand. So that might be something to think about, too. It is kind of wintry, but that's okay because it's winter time, so we can still use it. All right, so I'm going to say goodbye. I'm going to go have my lunch, and then I've got some things I got to get done and such. So hope you all have a good day, and Merry Christmas to all. Everybody stay safe and stay healthy, and I'll see you next week, Monday. Bye.